Good morning. All right, so today we're going to talk a little bit about something different outside of real estate. But what I want to do is I want you to keep your mind wide open as we're having this conversation. Okay. So here's the thing. When I was little, I remember I was laying in bed, and every time I heard the train go by, I would get excited about it because I knew that I was going to, at some point in life, go where that train was going, right? I was going to get my way out of West Virginia. I was going to make something of myself. I was going to have all this free time, and I was going to have the capability of doing whatever I want. Total and absolute freedom. Total and absolute. So all of these dreams were in my head. I was going to be president. I was going to be a fireman. I was going to be this and that. And it was going to be wonderful. Now, here's what starts to happen. The very first thing that happens is you receive that first paycheck. And so you receive that first paycheck. And mine was, when I was even young, mowing yards and things like that, getting money. But as I got a little older and I got that first paycheck, I could see something off in the distance. And off in the distance, I could see this little shadow start to form. And in that shadow, I was like, oh man, this is great. I'm able to buy things. I get this money and I can go out and I can buy something. I could go buy a car. I could go buy a house. I could go buy toys. I could buy electronics. I could buy everything that I ever wanted. Right. And so the next thing that happened is I say to myself, you know what? I got to go make a little more money. Got to go make just a little bit more. And so that shadow gets a little bit bigger. And the next thing I know, here it is. It's starting to fill up. And I find myself looking over and I can see this box, but I'm still standing over here on the outside and I'm still feeling good about everything. Right? Need a little more money. Need just a little bit more money. Well, I go out, get outside of the Marine Corps, and the next thing I know, I double my pay. Right? I'm not making the same amount. I double my pay. And so the next thing I know, I look over and I have moved from here. And now I'm sitting inside of this box. Right? Now I'm sitting inside of this box, but I'm still looking outside, still talking about all the freedom and all those things that I was going to make happen when I made a little bit more money, right? Made just a little bit more money. So at this point, freedom starts to become a little bit constrained because now I want to go on some vacations. Now I own a car. Now I own a house. Now I am stuck and I'm making all of these payments, right? So inside of here, I got a bunch of little handcuffs. All of these little handcuffs. And I'm noticing that all of those little handcuffs are located inside of all of these dollar bills. And so I don't know what to do anymore, right? Well, there's a solution. I got to go out and make a little bit more money, right? Make a little bit more money because I want to have total and absolute freedom. Well, guess what? I make a little bit more money. And I'm looking around and I'm still sitting inside of this box. The only thing that's happened is I have made myself some more handcuffs, right? More handcuffs. And I'm still looking outside. I'm still thinking, what do I got to do to get out of here? And here's the crazy thing. There was a point in our life when we were young and we're looking out and we're saying, I want to experience the world. I want to grow up to be something. I want to do amazing things and make amazing things happen. And the problem is that we're stuck inside of this box and we can no longer make those amazing things happen. It's gone. Because we have been told that we got to sit inside of this box until we're 65 or 67 or 70 or 72 or whatever age it is that you're planning to get outside of this box. And the problem is that box doesn't change outside of a little bit. And it starts to change shape again. And the next thing we know, we're taking this box and we're digging into the ground. And we're dropping that box down in the ground and we're covering ourselves up. And we have spent our entire life sitting inside of this box. I want you to think about that for a minute. How do I get outside of that box? What do I have to do to break all of those chains? The first thing I got to do is find myself a way to go out and do something that doesn't tie me to somebody else, doesn't tie me to making somebody else money, doesn't tie me to the corporate 9 to 5, right? And that's when I started looking at some other things. And I decided to change this box to a house, right? So I'm halfway through this box, and all of a sudden I see a little bit of trading happening here, a little bit of cash coming in to allow me to make changes in my life that are not tied to any sort of corporation, right? It turns me into an entrepreneur. It takes me out of that 9 to 5 and allows me to start moving forward and escape this box, right? So I buy 1, I buy 2, I buy 3, and then I realize, hey, it's not quite fast enough to get me there. So then what do I decide to do? I'm playing Monopoly. And in that game of Monopoly, I say, you know what? I'm going to turn this into something much, much larger. I'm going to turn it into an apartment complex. And so at the end of the day, now I'm making money from an apartment complex, and I am able to walk away from this 9 to 5. I'm able to escape this coffin that I have built for myself in the corporate world and that 9 to 5, and I have established myself some freedom. Have a good day.